6 days later, Jesus took with him Peter and James and John, and led them up a high mountain apart, by themselves, and he was transfigured before them, and his clothes became dazzling bright, such as no one on earth could brighten them. And there appeared to them Elijah with Moses, who were talking with Jesus. Then Peter said to Jesus, "Rabbi, it is good for us to be here. Let us make 3 dwellings, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." He did not know what to say, for they were terrified. Then a cloud overshadowed them, and from the cloud there came a voice, "This is my son, the beloved. Listen to him." Suddenly when they looked around, they saw no one with them anymore, but only Jesus. As they were coming down the mountain, he ordered them to tell no one about what they had seen, until after the Son of Man had risen from the dead. So they kept the matter to themselves, questioning what this rising from the dead could mean.
Have you ever had one of those moments that was so incredible, so overwhelming, that you just wanted to freeze time? That's exactly what happened to Peter, James, and John on that mountain with Jesus. Picture this. Jesus takes his 3 closest friends up a high mountain. They're probably expecting another teaching session, maybe some quiet prayer time. But then something absolutely mind-blowing happens. Jesus is transfigured before their eyes. His clothes become dazzling white, brighter than anything humanly possible. We're talking supernatural, otherworldly brilliance here. But wait, it gets even more incredible. Suddenly, Moses and Elijah appear, 2 of the greatest figures from Israel's history, representing the law and the prophets, and they're having a conversation with Jesus. Can you imagine being a fly on the wall for that discussion? Now, here's where it gets beautifully human. Peter, bless his heart, opens his mouth without thinking, as he often does. "Rabbi, this is amazing. Let's build 3 tents, one for you, one for Moses, one for Elijah." Mark tells us he didn't know what to say because they were all terrified. It's like when you're so overwhelmed by something beautiful that you just start babbling. Peter's reaction is so relatable, isn't it? When we encounter something divine, something that takes our breath away, our first instinct is often to try to capture it, to make it permanent. Let's build something. Let's commemorate this. Let's never leave this place. But then God the Father speaks from a cloud, the same way he spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai. And his message is crystal clear. "This is my son, the beloved. Listen to him." Not Moses, not Elijah, but Jesus. Listen to him. And suddenly, Moses and Elijah are gone. It's just Jesus, only Jesus. I think there's something profound happening here that speaks to our spiritual lives today. We all have our mountaintop moments, times when we feel incredibly close to God, when His presence seems almost tangible. Maybe it's during worship, or in prayer, or while reading scripture, or witnessing a beautiful sunset. In those moments, like Peter, we want to stay there forever. But here's what I've learned. God doesn't give us mountaintop experiences so we can build permanent camps there. He gives them to us so we can be transformed and then go back down the mountain to serve others. Notice what happens next. As they're coming down the mountain, Jesus tells them not to tell anyone about what they saw until after He rises from the dead. And the disciples are confused. They don't understand what rising from the dead means. This is so important. The Transfiguration wasn't just a cool light show. It was a preview of Jesus' glory, a glimpse of who He really is, the divine Son of God. But it was also connected to His mission, to suffer, die, and rise again for our salvation. The disciples wanted to stay on the mountain, but Jesus knew they had to come down. There were people to heal, lessons to teach, and ultimately, a cross to bear. The glory of the Transfiguration was meant to sustain them through the darkness of Good Friday. And that's true for us too. When we have those powerful encounters with God, when we feel His presence so strongly, it's not meant to be an escape from reality. It's meant to equip us for reality. It's meant to remind us who Jesus really is when life gets hard, when faith gets difficult, when the world seems dark. The voice from the cloud said, Listen to him. That's still God's message to us today. In a world full of competing voices, conflicting advice, and endless opinions, God says, listen to Jesus, his words, his teachings, his example. That's what matters. So here's my challenge for you. What mountaintop moments has God given you? What times have you felt his presence powerfully? Don't try to build a permanent tent there. Instead, let those experiences transform you and send you back down the mountain with renewed purpose. And when life gets tough, and it will, remember the Transfiguration. Remember that Jesus is not just a good teacher or a moral example. He's the beloved Son of God, clothed in divine glory, who came down from the mountain to save us all. Listen to him, trust him, follow him, because the same Jesus who was transfigured in glory is the same Jesus who walks with you through every valley.